So we were discussing how a Fringe touring performer could get people into their show. The things we generally tell the Fringe touring performers, the things we repeat a lot for them, is they are going to be advertising a lot as if it's the 1980s and social media doesn't exist. Because when they head to a new city, they don't know anybody to be social with on social media. So you suddenly are doing postering, putting up 5-10 posters, or if you're in Winnipeg, Edmonton, something like that, putting up 50 or 100 posters. So you do walk around with your tape and your big backpack on, but more to the point, you also flyer lines all the time. And if you haven't heard the phrase before, it means you are walking up and down a line of people waiting to see another show, directly interacting with each one in a way that most artists hate, and giving them the elevator pitch for your show, handing them the card, telling them your quick elevator pitch, switching it based on who you're talking to. And hopefully you are the picture on your postcard. Hopefully they're looking at the face of the person that is handing them the card that's on the card, so they have to say no to your face if they're going to, because that's a little harder. Hopefully you are walking up in a really personable way and looking excited about it, not going by rote, not sounding like a robot. So basically you have to spend the majority of your time on the road. The way we put it to people is your full-time job when you're traveling around to festivals is marketing, occasionally interrupted by sleeping and performing, which is then the part-time job of occasionally doing your show. But you are constantly flyering the show, postering, hopefully if you have the time, getting some spots that are on radio, TV, if it's a big enough festival to do that. And beyond that, then, you want to make sure your marketing fits a Fringe festival, not in-town theater.
What's the difference?
And to most people who haven't done the Fringe festivals, they may know the difference or they may not know either, because many people who only do in-town theater don't ever make the marketing for a show. They get cast, they act, they're done, they go home. But you end up doing all of your own things here. Generally, the difference is you shouldn't have a cryptic title that will make sense after they see the show, or it will never make sense because they'll never see the show. You're in a program with 10 other shows, perhaps 50, perhaps 200. If it is cryptic, you just flip right by it. That your graphic that is on the poster, that is in the flyer, that is on the program, and hopefully it is the same graphic on all three, because then you get the repetition, which is what you want for it. That graphic should be simple, easy to decipher, give you a bit of the tone of the show, and have only one, maybe two elements that don't blend together. And we want to make a rather garish, big thing that stands out in a program of 50, 100, 200 other shows, and stands out on a poster wall of 10, 50, 100, 200 other posters without becoming white noise. So the simple title, the simple, large, easy to understand graphic with all the other elements moved aside. So suddenly everything becomes bigger, simpler, a little more in your face, and that means everything. The way you personally talk to people about the show, the way you flyer them for it, the way you do your little 10-second spots in person, on the radio, whatever, your blurb in the program, quicker, easier, more in your face. Don't make it, again, cryptic, hard to understand, lots of mystery, or, again, the way you put it, or you will keep all of the mystery forever, for everybody. The title, the image, all of that, big, simple, direct, a little different. And in town for your shows, if you've got a group of patrons that come in that always read your stuff, you can be a little more subtle. They can see it because they'll see everything at the theater. They may know you or your work. It could be the only poster on the wall at the coffee shop. That's not true of what we do. You need to stand out. It needs to be simple. You're getting the idea across, not because the audience is simple, but because you have a lot of competition for their eyes, their time, and you get it across quick.
So what else does the flyer or postcard mean? What's the basic information that you must put on it?
Basic. Once they have the image that draws the eye, once they have the title that is simple and means something, if you get that, the next thing on a poster would be all of your information, easily understood information about dates, times, venue, how to get tickets. Again, these are not your season ticket holders that always go to the repertory theater in town. They don't necessarily know those things. So dates, times, venue, tickets. You could have a tagline on the poster. On the flyer, you want the blurb. Simple, quick, but enough information, 3 to 5 sentences, brief stuff that get across the tone and the plot and the genre as simply as possible. If it sounds a little cheesy, if it sounds like marketing speak and you don't like that, it's probably pretty good. None of us want that. It's the same as a band that doesn't want to be compared to, well, they sound like these people mixed with these people. None of us want to be described that way, but in the marketing, the audience wants to know what they're going to get. You can give them that subtlety and nuance and artistry on stage if you get them to the show.